Most úgy gondolod, hogy itt kell majd dolgozni? The governing party won again a two-third majority in the parliament, running slowly on a hate campaign. So for a human rights and pro-democracy organization, it's a day when we have to reflect. Despite our criticism of the electoral system of not being free and fair, we believe that the results are clear, and with such a high turnout, it cannot be disputed. The government campaign, the governing party's campaign, centered around the idea of there are those who are the enemies of the nation, those organizations who are financed by George Soros and his foundations. The ACLU, our organization, was mentioned multiple times, week by week, in the pro-government press as one of the organizations that will be the target after the elections. So we are prepared for legislative and communicational attacks on our NGO. I don't expect that this will be an easy 2 years to come, and I believe that the government will do everything in their power to minimize our impact. However, human rights is an idea and it cannot be shut down.
Kritizálta volna Gábor, tehát valószínűleg itt lesz egy ilyen radikális versus according to 80% or 97% of the vote counted, that Fidesz most probably will have the two-thirds majority in the next parliament. Which means that Fidesz will have enough support to pass key laws, for instance, law about the judiciary system. Also, it can change the constitution. Nem lett nagyobb, és ha néhány szavazókört néztünk eddig csak meg, vagy választókerületet, nem tudtunk még teljes vizsgálatot. Fidesz and Viktor Orban personally has been emphasizing the topic of migration. Since 2015, this was also the only topic of the campaign. Fidesz hasn't emphasized at all, for instance, economic success and economic success stories which Fidesz delivered in recent years. So migration was the only topic of Fidesz. I think this was a key issue. This resonated with the voters. Operáló kormánypárt van, egy szélsőjobboldali párt, és van egy ilyen nagyon... A vast majority of media in Hungary are directly or indirectly controlled by the governing Fidesz party, which means that many people, mainly people living in rural areas, have mainly access to information sources which are only provided by the government and which only echo the messages of the government. And another important factor, I think, is the complete structure of the state in Hungary, which is tailored to the needs of Fidesz, including, for instance, election system, but also including other independent institutions such as the prosecution's office, the state audit office, and also the tax authority, for instance.